Hey y'all, how you doing today? Dana here, and I'm coming in because I think I want some comfort food that reminds me of late summer or fall. I've got some beautiful apples here. So I think what I'm gonna do is make a Tart Apple Crisp. Do y'all like an apple crisp? I love them. They are comfort food. The ultimate comfort food are apple crisp. So I've got a really easy one in my book called Happiness is Homemade, y'all, and it is on page 125. So just turn there if you've got the book and follow along. If you don't, you can get it on Amazon, and you can also get it as an ebook or a print book. They're got a big sale going on right now. Y'all go get you one. All right, Tart Apple Crisp. We're gonna need some apples. Now I put 6 apples on here in the recipe, but these apples are really big, so we'll see how many we actually have to use. You're gonna need self-rising flour, some brown sugar and some granulated sugar, and some cinnamon, and a butter. So we're gonna use all of that to turn this apple into a beautiful, beautiful Tart Apple Crisp. All right, let's get ready down here in my antique kitchen, and let's throw together this Tart Apple Crisp. First thing I'm gonna do is take me some butter and put it in the bottom of my skillet. Now you don't have to use a skillet. You can use a baking dish. If I were gonna use a baking dish, I would use one about like this. But today I wanna use a skillet, a really old skillet that I've had for a long, long time. So I'm gonna put some butter in the bottom of it and let it get to melting while I'm peeling the apples. And then I've got my old, y'all see my brown drip stuff that I collect here. This is my butter dish. I love my butter dish. So anyway, I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons down there just for good measure. And I'm gonna crank up that oven to 350 and get this in the oven and let my skillet get hot, okay? All right, the skillet is melting the butter. It's in there at 350, and now we've got to peel some apples. Now y'all know how to peel apples, so I'm just gonna show you how I do it. Now of course you wash and make sure your apples are in good shape and get your apples peeled. And I think since these apples are so large that I'm only gonna need about 3, maybe 4, because they're big, which is good. And these are Granny Smith's. You do need to use a tart apple. Okay, use a tart apple because it's called Tart Apple Crisp. And I personally love the tartness. See how pretty that looks? And then we're gonna cut this into 8s. So, all right, I've cut the apple in half, and then I'm gonna cut it in 4ths. And y'all know that you have this core in the middle, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna zip right down through here and get that off. And when you do, you're left with this. So I'm gonna cut this into about 3 pieces right here and get a chunk there. And you see the cores right here. Let's just knock that out and cut that in half. And then here it is, here we go again. Cut that in half. Some people scoop it out. Y'all do it the way you want to. It's okay if we all cut our apples different. As long as we get them in here so we can eat, okay? So anyway, this is how I do mine real quick. Whoops, I need to scoop a little more. Okay, and get these going. Now y'all, I did bring a lemon because I don't want mine to turn brown, but that lemon, if you have any lemon, the lemon is going to keep your apples from turning brown, but give it also a really, really good tart flavor. And especially use lemon or apple cider vinegar, just a smidge, if you think your apples are not tart enough. So you're gonna have to taste your apples and see if they're tart, okay? And I'll taste mine in just a minute. Let me do that right now. Oh, mine are really good. This is a Granny Smith. That's really good. So I don't need to worry about mine not being tart enough. But I do add just a smidge, because I'm telling y'all it helps the flavor. All right, I'm cutting this apple in half and doing what I just did on the rest of it, cutting it in 4ths and then taking the core out and then slicing. It's not hard, people. Not hard at all. And you know, this is just a throw together thing that women have been making, and cooks have been making, not just women. Cooks have been making for a long time to throw a really quick thing in the oven for a delicious and comforting dessert. Y'all, these are so big. I tell you what, I may not even use but 3. But anyway, here I go. Now, how are y'all doing today? Are y'all getting ready for fall like I am? It is really hot where I'm at today, and it's gonna be in triple digits on the heat index. So I'm trying to keep everybody cool and thinking about fall. So that's the reason I'm doing this Tart Apple Crisp today. All right, here we go again. These are some good apples. I'm lucky that I could get some, and y'all know fall's a coming, so we'll all be able to get more apples. But anyway, get these in here, and we can move on with making this quick apple tart. All it is just, you know, taking care of your fruits and then mixing up a little bit of what's left. And y'all know I will take a picture of the recipe and post it below because I want you to be able to make it. All right, I got to check and see if my butter's melted. Y'all hang on. My butter is melted. Now, y'all, I don't tell about the melted butter part in here, but you know, do it if you want to, and if you don't want to, just spray your pan with some cooking oil. And I've got to move stuff around. This is getting a little crowded here. I'll put it on the back. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is stop this and let's arrange some of this stuff in my pan. So I should have left it over here, shouldn't I? Get something on there so I don't burn it. Well, the melted butter smells really good. Okay, I'm going to just push that in there. Now, if you want to, you can get all persnickety on how you arrange it, and you can make it so pretty. And I dropped an apple. I wonder where that went. Okay. Oh, well, there we go. I'm going to do this last apple just because I like a lot of apple in mine. So here we go. So I'm putting 4 large apples in here. Now, if you know, don't have 4, I would, if they're small or medium, I would say do 6. But these are really large. So I'm lucky I got these big old apples, Granny Smith. I used to send a Granny Smith apple every day in my kids' lunch because one of them in particular loved Granny Smith apples. And then I got to tell y'all, when he was in kindergarten, we found out one day that for some reason he wasn't getting to eat his Granny Smith apple. And I'm like, what's going on that you're not getting, who's eating it? And he said he had this little boy in there that kept taking it away from him. And so he had to defend himself against the guy that kept taking away his Granny Smith apple. So that worked. But we just said, you know, he wasn't used to people taking his food away from him, but this little fella, you know, wanted his Granny Smith apple. So I'm like, if he needs an apple, I'll send another one, but he doesn't need to be taking yours. So we had to have a discussion about that. The things we learn as we're parenting our children, right? All right, so I've got this beautiful thing full of apples here, and now all we've got to do is make the topping. And the topping is gonna be very, very simple. So let me move some of this out of the way, and I'll pull up the ingredients for the topping. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our sugar. Now we're taking a cup of white sugar, you know, granulated sugar, and we're also taking some cinnamon. And all you do on this, y'all, it's so easy, is sprinkle this sugar over your apples. Now, if you don't want this much sugar, put as much sugar as you want, but this is how much the recipe calls for. And then we're gonna take a half a teaspoon of cinnamon and sprinkle it over it. Now these right here are really, really old. They're from like several past generations in my family, and I love using them, so I'm using them today. And we're doing a half of a teaspoon, and we're just gonna sprinkle it over. Now how easy is this, people? Just sprinkle it over. It's gonna be fine. All right, we got that done. So the next thing we're gonna do is mix up the topping. And I'm gonna put the topping in this thing right here. And we're gonna do the butter first. Now it's supposed to be softened butter and mine's not quite soft enough. So what do we do when our butter's not soft enough? We pop it in the microwave. So that's what I'm gonna do. Walk right over there and pop it in the microwave. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, I got my butter and it's a little melty, so it's good. And now I'm gonna add the other ingredients to this. Now we're gonna do a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. See, you know, it's tart, but it's also pretty good. And we're gonna do a cup of flour. All right, now before I move on with that, I realized I forgot to sprinkle some lemon over this, so y'all hang on. Now look, this is something I add. You don't have to do the lemon, okay? But I like to do just a little sprinkle of it, just to give it a little more oomph in that wonderful lemon. And see, this is about 1/2 of a juicy lemon. Okay, very good. See, this thing right here was David's grandmother's. They're like, oh, we'll just throw this away. I'm like, no, I'll take it. This right here was my grandpa Campbell's. And every day when he came in from lunch to eat lunch, because he worked at the Farmer's Gin and Tractor Company in Warrior for decades, he would come in and my granny would make lunch for him, and he would come in and wash his face and his arms. And this is where the towels hung that he could use to do that with. And they were like trying to clean up their house, you know, after we lost them. And I'm like, I'll take it. So I have all these things like this down in the kitchen with me. Do y'all do that? Let me show you what else I've got that I love. Can you see up there at the top? There's a little house up there at the top, and I'm not quite certain if you can see it. I'll tell you about it. I don't think you can. There's a little house, and it has two people, a woman that's going outside to work in the garden with her flowers, or a man with an umbrella. And you can see what the weather's supposed to be doing by if the man has the umbrella, you know it's gonna rain. If the lady's working in her flowers, you know it's gonna be sunny. And that was at my Nanny Swan's house. And I used to, every time I would go to her house, as soon as I went in, I would have to, give her a hug and a kiss. Then I'd run in there and see what the weather was supposed to be doing and see if it was right. I used to love that. I will snap a picture of that and put it below so you can see it. Y'all tell me some good memories you've got, okay? Now let's move on with this. So we've got all this together and we're just gonna mix it up. This is the topping. We've got the flour, we've got the brown sugar, and we've got the butter. And this is gonna end up looking like thick, like little bitty pieces of meal. You know, that's what they say it's gonna look like. It's gonna look like meal, but it's just gonna be crumbly. Y'all see that? So I'm gonna set this down and get my muscle into it. And y'all, we're gonna have some really good eating. I'm gonna tell you, really good eating tonight. So, and I will post this recipe below so that you can make it as well. Now, after we get through with this, what we're gonna do is just sprinkle this over the top. And you just kind of gotta get your hands down into it and get that sprinkled over. I'm just gonna dump it out there and then I'll spread it out. Okay. Okay, y'all, this smells so divine. The cinnamon, the apples, they are giving me some great smells here. And y'all, this is gonna cook up into a wonderful topping. So we're just spreading this topping out and sprinkling it all over the top. Oh, y'all are gonna love this. And I'm just gonna tell you, I like the added bit of lemon, and if you don't have it, you can always add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. But y'all, this is gonna be so tasty. Okay, we're gonna put it at 350 for an hour. And then I'm gonna show y'all what good comfort food is coming out of my oven. Hey y'all, it is an hour has been up and it is time for me to take this wonderful Tart Apple Crisp out of the oven. And I'm gonna tell y'all, there is no place in this world that smells better than this kitchen right now. It smells so divine and comforting and appley and kind of like fall. It smells great. So I'm about to pull it out. Y'all get ready. Oh my goodness. Will y'all look at this? Oh, it's so hot. Oh, it smells divine. Ooh, baby, I cannot wait. I've got the ice cream out. We are gonna have us some really, really good food in just a minute. Smells so good. I can't wait to eat this little beautiful tart. So I'm gonna start dipping it right now, and then we're gonna dig into it. Oh, I want every piece of it. I want some of this beautiful, beautiful thick juice around the side. Oh, y'all. I tell you what, this right here is gonna cure what ails you. Tart Apple Crisp. How much should I get? Yeah, more than that, right? Oh, those apples are so soft. My mouth is watering looking at it. Look at that. And if that's not good enough, let's dig into the ice cream. Do y'all like ice cream on your apple desserts? Let me get me a little ice cream. Just a little. Oh, maybe a lot. Look at this. Look at this. Don't you want a bite? I know it's smoking hot with that cold ice cream on top. We are in comfort food heaven right now, aren't we, y'all? If you want a bite, send me a thumbs up. Now, I'm gonna pull a piece off and let it start cooling because, y'all, it's really, really hot. I gotta get some of the topping. I gotta get some of the apples. I gotta get some of the ice cream. And then we'll just talk a minute while we wait on it to cool, because y'all look. Oh, look at that. Oh, my ice cream fell off. All right. I hope y'all are having a good day. I'm having a great day. David is gonna be so happy with this Tart Apple Crisp. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I love having y'all down here in my kitchen, my antique kitchen, and it has so much comfort for me because it's got stuff from all my different grandparents and great-grandparents, some of my great-grandparents. But anyway, that is really hot. Okay, it's about ready for me to take a bite. Don't you want a bite? I know, me too. Okay, here we go. Oh, y'all. Y'all go get you some tart apples. Get you all the makings for this and go make you some. You're gonna love me for this recipe. And y'all, this is just an old apple tart recipe that's been handed down for generations. You owe yourself a comforting apple tart. Y'all, you are welcome. Let me just stand here and eat a little more. Tart Apple Crisp. That is so good. I'm sorry I'm just standing here being a little Tart Apple Crisp glutton, but y'all, it's hard to stop eating it. That tart apple, that beautiful crunchy crisp on the top. There you go. This right here will cure what ails you. I tell you what, this will take good care of you right here. Good old Tart Apple Crisp, y'all. You know I love you if I'm giving you this recipe, right? All right. I always tell you one thing, and it's this: the good Lord loves you, and He really does. And I love you too. And y'all go have a really good day. Get you some stuff to make this Tart Apple Crisp. You will not be sorry. You're gonna be the most popular person around when you make this apple crisp. All right, love and blessings to you. Bye-bye.